What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Good, the Bad and the Stupid. It's Friday the 6th of December. It's dark outside. I'm actually running behind as usual, but I've had to battle through the wind, the rain, the misery, the traffic just to get here to do this podcast for you. So as you can probably imagine, I don't want to do it, but I'm only joking. Of course I want to do it. It's my what's the word? It's how I relax now. This is my this is how I get my kicks, how I get my gets things off my chest or whatever, and share it with space and everybody that might or might not listen to this somewhere in the future and think, who's this madman with a Brummie accent? Well, the Brummie accent is really popular these days. That's what they'll say, because it'll be so far in the future that would have actually been put on the map. You know, we started at the Peaky Blinders, but we're going to end up fucking dominating television. We're not, but it's a good dream. We can dream, should I say? Anybody see the? Let me stop waffling and talk about the news. The Andrew Neil, Boris Johnson gate. He's not doing the interview. I think one of his spokesmen have come out and said that the last thing the public want to listen to is an interview where the TV presenter, it's all about the TV presenter rather than about the actual politics or something, and just somebody interrupting all the time. So he's not going to do the interview, basically. So he's basically having a dig at Andrew Neil. But everybody else has had to do it. I think Nigel Farage and what's he called? And Nicola Sturgeon and Joe Swinson, or I think the lady from the Liberal Democrats, have all done it. So he's definitely fucking bottling it, and he's not doing any favours anyway, because he's looking like he's bottling it, and people are going to start saying, what have you got to hide? And Labour have come out today and said that there's another dossier of like bullshit on his Brexit plans, that he's been saying that there's no there's a lot of lies that he's been saying about what Brexit entails, and in this document it says loads of things with regards to how Ireland are going to be severely affected, and England and Wales, and Scotland and Wales. So he's hiding now because there's another thing he's going to have to get drilled on. So and somebody's pulled up outside the Conservative offices in a big like lorry with the Andrew Neil interview. Watch it on the internet. It must be on YouTube. They pulled a big TV screen. It's mad that they've gone to the fucking effort, because it's a clever idea what they've done. They've pulled up outside the Conservative offices with a massive big TV on the back of a lorry playing the Andrew Neil interview at full blast. So everybody in the offices and everybody walking past, they're having to watch the Andrew Neil calling out Boris Johnson, which he did a speech, a little thing calling out Boris Johnson and to the public, telling him why is he hiding? We have to scrutinise our leaders and whatever. And that's basically, they played it outside the offices, and so that was quite clever. And that's by a company called Led by Donkeys. So I imagine they're to the left and against the Tories by that title. So they're quite interesting. I'll have to watch more of their stuff, like satirical kind of humour. Political humour, so yeah, good. So will he do it? Won't he? He's not going to do it. They've just come out and said he isn't, and he's dodged an ITV interview as well. So he's like shooting himself in both feet, aren't they? Surely they're not winning any fucking fans by doing these kind of things, are they? People are just going to start thinking, what a cunt. Excuse the language. Clash on the Dunes. Anthony Joshua's fighting this Saturday. He's fighting against what's he called, Andy Riaz or whatever, to try and regain the world titles and whatever. And he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. Not the greatest place to choose to fight. I mean, there's money. It's all about the money, isn't it? But you could have had that money anywhere in any country, in any place. You still would have got the same money, made the same money. So I wouldn't have done it in Saudi Arabia under the current situation with regards to them on the world stage, especially with all that business with the reporter and what's happening in Yemen. Anyhow, who am I to tell people what to do? But they've called, what I was pulling it out for is because they've called it the Clash on the Dunes. The Clash on the Dunes. I mean, like, you've had like things like the Rumble in the Jungle and the thriller in Manila, and this is called The Clash on the Dunes. Doesn't fucking sound. They could have come out for all the money and all the millions that have been chucked around that fight. They could have come up with a better title than that. I was actually going to try. What about Clash in the Sand, or Stinger in the Sand, or something like that? I don't know. Something a little bit more fucking punchy. You know, Clash on the Dunes just sounds like fucking. I don't know. Clash of the Titans, something like that. Anyway, again, it's not my position, not my place. Otherwise, I'd be paid a load of money and wearing a sponsorship badge across here. But no, come calling, give me a knock. I can help you out. I just haven't got time to come up with one just now. Bloke on the... oh, what's it one? Oh, there was a video as well on YouTube as well about a bloke. There was a bloke screaming at a girl on the... You know when somebody takes one of these sneaky little videos when somebody's kicking off on the train or somewhere and somebody's like secretly videoing it on the phone. This guy was screaming his fucking head off. Literally screaming his head off at this girl. And the girl... I mean, he was like pointing and screaming. Why anybody didn't intervene? I mean, he was fucking... But if people were probably ready to jump in if he tried to attack her or something. But he was screaming at the top of his lungs like a fucking lunatic. And everybody else was looking all sheepishly around him. But she was just like standing there going, yeah, whatever, mate, whatever. Oh, sit back down, shut up. You know what I mean? She just literally wasn't fazed by him. And he was like almost foaming at the mouth. Fucking rabid he was. And it's funny, but I pulled it out because the something he said. He said, "You're just a." First of all, he was saying she was going, "Oh, you're on drugs, aren't you, mate?" And he's going, "I'm not on fucking cocaine. I'm not on coke." She was going, "I know what you like. You're on fucking cocaine or something." And he was like losing it. And he said, "You're just a stupid fucking cow, you are." That's what he said to her. And she went, "Brilliant! One of the best lines, something from the school days." This was. She went, "Yeah, I know you are." So he said, "You're a stupid fucking cow, ain't you?" And she said, "Yeah, I know you are." That's something that we would have said on the school playing fields or whatever. But so she just didn't give a shit, and like he had to sit back down in the end. And I bet when he sat back down, everyone was like, "What just happened?" You know, because he sat back down in a seat and tried to act all normal, but everyone's like, "Psycho." He's got to have been fucking done by the police for that, because it was like, can it be illegal to scream and shout? It's got to be a public nuisance, isn't it? Anyway. Second public nuisance of the day, Boris Johnson being number one. Third public nuisance is Donald Trump. He's about to be impeached. Well, he's been taken to court for his impeachment trial. So, I mean, the fact that they've let it go that far, or it's gone that far, he's bound to get the boot. I know he'd have to come up with something fucking pretty clever, because they're saying that he is in a worse position than Nixon was. So, you know, I don't know whether they've just been all out to get him from the start, haven't they? They've been looking for anything, any last little thing they can get on him, and they've found it, and they're like, fucking, he's done himself no favours if he's done whatever it is that they're saying you've done wrong, and you know that's against the rules. You ain't fucking you haven't sort of, you haven't done yourself. I mean, you've literally walked straight into a fucking trap, haven't you? Basically. But at the same time, he was trying to undercover some shit going on with that Joe Biden being bought out by Ukraine as well. So they're all fucking at it. It's just one. It's who gets the upper hand in the end. It's an arm wrestle, isn't it? We're all dodgy as fuck. But let's see who comes out on top. Because I'm exposing you, and now they're doing him for exposing him, for trying to expose him. At times like this, you need someone like the Equalizer or somebody to come in and behind the scenes do it all for you. Don't do it blatantly yourself. It's fucking kicking up. I mean, it's the world's fucking gone mad, isn't it? France is like literally one big strike, isn't it? In Paris, they've just fucking kicked off all across France, smashing windows, riots, fucking flares going off, cars set on fire, because he's trying to put the prices at the retirement age, trying to change the retirement age, and they ain't having it. They work all their lives. It's like what happened with the waspy women, isn't it? They're taking the pensions off them at the last fucking minute when they're due to retire, and all of a sudden you got to work an extra 5 years. Well, in France they ain't fucking having it. They're like, you know, mass protests. Imagine it's all retirees all fucking out smashing windows and throwing petrol bombs and everything, and they're all like 65 and whatnot. I mean, they're backed up by it's everybody, because these people are going to have to suffer it in the years to come. But you know, you can imagine that. I bet they're all out there, pensioners. Somebody's dressed up as a few pensioners here. They're all dressed up like with balding wigs on and stuff like that, and tank tops. So yeah, solidarity with the retirees. I just think, you know, if you don't want to work, I mean, they're after the pensions and whatever, but like, fucking, it's this massive thing about everybody has to work, and like make it really hard for you to not work. You know, you wasn't like, imagine years and millions or thousands of years ago, we wasn't actually put on this planet to work. You was put on this planet to survive, eat, live, procreate, enjoy, you know, and just literally live the life getting by, you know what I mean, by oneself. But now all of a sudden there's this fucking onus on that you have to be, you must be working, you must be supporting the machine. You're part of the machine. You're a cog in the, you're a wheel or whatever, a cog in the wheel, whatever the fuck. And you can't not be, you know. If you're not, then what are you doing? You're not a part of society. You're a downcast. You're an outcast. And we'll make sure you've got nothing, and you're on the street, homeless and whatever else. So it's fucking bullshit. You know, it should make a massive big. Everyone should just become hippies. That's what I say. Everyone, let's all just become hippies and just fucking have a mass sit down and, like, you know, there's enough pasta in the world to get us by for a couple of years. And then we can just figure it out, you know. Get rid of all the politicians. Rule by, you know, get back to Woodstock. Just the world's just a massive Woodstock. Sex, music, drugs. You know, no money needed. Everything's exchanged by kindness and, you know, swapsies. I'll swap you this for that. This is a funny one, the Peloton advert. Have you seen the Peloton advert? It was a massive thing. I didn't even know what Peloton was until about a week or two ago. I saw the advert that's on in the UK, but the Peloton themselves, they must be massive because they've just lost £1 billion off their value because of their Christmas advert. And apparently it's been called out as being sexist and ridiculous because... well, I've actually watched it because I thought, what the fuck, you know, £1 billion, that must be some kind of right fucking faux pas. You made a right fuck up there to put an advert out that's going to kill the business, you know. But I watched it. There's fuck all wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, a guy buys his missus, a guy buys his wife an exercise bike. She's really happy with it, and that's the advert. It's like she might have been badgering him. We don't know the ins and outs of that. No, he's not saying, yeah, you're fat, I bought you a bike. He's just undercovered a exercise bike and she's buzzing. So there's every chance she's been wanting one of those for years or for as long as they've come out. And she's been moaning at him, going, I hope you're going to get me that fucking bike for Christmas and not get me something shit like he did last year. And he's going to, like, surprise her. Best present ever for her because she's big into bikes. All of a sudden... £1 billion, and the bike could possibly go bust. Hopefully not. They must be massive if they can weather a storm of £1 billion. But I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with that. That's not sexist. If you're going to start dissing blokes for buying their women or their you know, what about if they bought them like a skipping rope or whatever else? They might have always asked for one. What if she buys him a fucking a stupid beer hat, you know, with the straws that you can drink and put the beer in here because the blokes sit in front of the TV or something ridiculous like that. Is that sexist? Because as if a bloke would want something that's obvious only a bloke would wear. It's stupid. Anyway, that's my take. Slag me off in the comments if you like. I'm going to leave it there on that one. But as far as I'm concerned, give them their £1 billion back. It looks like a good buzz actually. I'd quite like to have a go on it. When are we going to go? Oh, Donald Trump. I was talking about Donald Trump earlier. Donald Tusk, the two Donalds, Donald and Donald. He's put a picture of himself on the Instagram with his two fingers in Donald Trump's back like that, as if like in a gun type shape, in the back of Donald Trump without him noticing. And he's put it onto Instagram. You think like he might do that for a joke for his mates, but he's actually put it on Instagram. And it's not a very nice photo, really. He's like almost saying, you know, fucking shoot you in the back. You know, like shoot you in the back like a dog. You know, he's not doing himself, covering himself in any glory with that post. But he's on his way out, isn't he? So he's probably just one parting shot. You know what I mean? So that's another person who Donald Trump's got to have grievance with. Yeah, watch him, because they've got all the money. You could just start being a bastard and start going, oh, I'm paying for that. I'm not putting money towards that. I'm not helping you out with anything. And then you've got, there's a lot of political stuff on this one. No, I've pulled out loads of stuff on here. It's all fucking political. Anyway, I'm going to do one more. Then Boris Johnson was on that, what's it called? Holly Willoughby and Philip Schofield having a selfie with his phone. And he's taking a photo of him and them two. And it's come in the paper, everyone's jumped on. That's what I said, you can't get away with anything. Anything you do as a famous person or somebody that in the moment, in the spotlight, because they're jumping on him because of the phone that he's using, because it's a Hawaii phone, which is Chinese. And they're saying, well, our Prime Minister's using a Chinese phone. That could be spying on him and everything. He could be like fucking watching his every words. That's probably why all this shit's coming out on like against him, because it's all being found out, because he's like talking behind the scenes in his house and whatever, going, fucking hell, wait till they find out about that dossier about Brexit, then we're going to be in the shit. What about they find out about that NHS document, then we're going to be in the shit. And China are putting it out, passing it on to the Russians are putting it out. All of a sudden he's dug himself a political grave. Anyway, get on to something a little bit more interesting, shall we? Or something a little bit more stupid. Get off the Carpenter who's suing for 900 grand, exaggerated, to his thumb. How do you think you're going to get 900 grand injury claim for your thumb? You know, surely that's calling for detectives to follow you around. He's suing for 900 grand because he squashed his thumb during a job, and they've they're coming back at him in court or whatever, because they've got Facebook photos of him playing Grand Theft Auto. Obviously you need your thumbs for that, don't you? Taking selfies and making an OK sign while diving in the Maldives. So you know, if you're going to make a claim like that and you're claiming an injury, you've got to walk around with one of those fucking bandages like off Tom and Jerry until the court case is finished. You can't start going around and like doing handstands and fucking breakdancing and stuff. I know it's only your thumb, but if you live in the life, you ain't going to get 900 grand, are you? So you might not get fuck all now, so never mind. Let's see. Well, I don't know if they've said he's... looks like he's in court over it anyway, so the jury's out on that one, but I don't think he's going to win. So there's a thumbs down one on that one. Jeremy Clarkson has agreed that climate change does exist, but he's also told Greta Thunberg to go back to school and shut up. So he's obviously not a fan. That's one grumpy old man. And Chris Packham of Birdwatch and Springwatch and Climate Watch now, because he's all about the environment. He's come out and tweeted to Jeremy Clarkson, I know you're going to think I'm weird and a stupid idiot as well, but I suggest you sit down and have a think about what a dangerous and unpleasant arse you'll be remembered as by your grandchildren. Good fucking line. That's like bang. That's hitting him right in the nuts with that one, because it's true, because it's all the kids who are having to suffer the situation from the parents, and Mr. Millionaire flying around the world for his fucking Amazon program, dissing, saying, oh, you know, there is climate change, but somebody who's putting herself and putting her life on, you know, putting everything into it. She's putting herself up for scrutiny and everything, putting herself out there. She's doing something about it at the end of the day. At least she's fucking raising awareness, good or bad. You know, she ain't going away anytime soon, and obviously his grandchildren will probably fucking look up to her And she's going to think, what? And you were slagging her off, you fucking old fart. You ain't my great-grandfather. Yeah, when they're doing that, like, what's it called? They're doing the family tree. A grumpy millionaire wants to keep his toys, and he's like, yeah, wants to still jet set it and everything. While everybody else has to burn and suffer. Where are we going? Right, I'm going to finish up on a couple, running out of time, as usual. What's this one? A chef's menu with cryptic clues to dishes has been branded the most pretentious ever. Tom Aitken's new flagship Muse has just 5 tables. I mean, that is just like 5 tables. That's almost going to be like sitting in somebody's living room, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like you'd be squashed in there. You can probably hear the other people, almost like you're in the same. It's almost like a tasting room or something, isn't it? Like an exam for his food. Anyway, excuse me. Yes, his menu says things like forever picking, snacks inspired by the seasons. This stems from my recollection of being in the garden with my mother and picking anything that was edible. And we all have our beech tree moments. My first memory as a child was a sense of fearlessness. I was always taking risks and looking for challenges. We had the tallest and most beautiful copper beech tree in our garden that I simply had to climb again and again. As chefs, we must always challenge the norm. What the fuck's that got to do with the food? I ain't going to. I'm going to read the last one. Muddy flats and bacon. Much of my childhood was spent on the Norfolk coast in Blakeney and also in Orford, Suffolk. I have vivid memories of the smell of the sea, samphire, and catching crabs with smoked bacon. Nice. Well, what about the food? We're hungry. Stop fucking rambling on. Get cooking. Where's the menu? Well, that was the menu. That's the funny part about it. That's the shit on the menu. That's the cryptic messages. So if you have to order one of them, you're going to be like, well, who knows what we're going to get? But it's going to be, I can imagine it's not going to be filling. It's going to be very pretty on the plate, very small, and very expensive. So enjoy. I'm going to have oven chips. Pie and oven chips. That's what I've got. Veggie pie, that is. I mean, Linda McCartney. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'm going to do one more. We'll do one more. Oh, I'm going to do one more because I've got this one here. A naked man placed his testicles on a car bonnet before bending over in front of the stunned drivers on a busy dual carriageway. The man in his late 20s sparked. So there, I was going to try and say, I hope they didn't get a photo of me, but he just said it's a man in his late 20s. I know I'm almost could pass for a man in his late 20s, but I'm a little bit older than that. So, before he was detained by police in Liverpool on Wednesday night, he put his parts on the bonnet of the car next to me. I have never seen anything like it. What is bollocks? Never seen bollocks like it, or you've never seen some bollocks squashed on a car bonnet. Maybe he had something that was worth showing to everybody in the. He might have just been stung by a bee. Might have just ran out of that fucking restaurant and not been stung by a bee off the menu. In one of those cryptic menu descriptions, and it's like knots have swollen up and he's ran out, had to drop his trousers. He's got to come up with an excuse. He's got to give a reason why he did it, hasn't he? I'm giving him, if I was his lawyer, this is where I'd be leading him. And I put them on the car bonnet because I thought it might cool them down or warm them up, either way, because as soon as he took them out his trousers, the cold weather hit them. I thought I was going to pass out, so I put them on the radiator. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and my finish, my grand finale there with the testicles on the car bonnet story. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. I'll see you again next week. Have a good weekend. See you. Bye.